Take two.
Take two. Here we go. Here we go. This is better. We're starting this on, anyway, we tried a different software, so hopefully this will work. We just wanted to get on and do some Sunday night chat.
I don't know.
We'll just see what happens. I figure, I don't know if people can hear us very well, hopefully. But yeah, we just wanted to get on and talk together since we did it last week and it was fun. But we can wait or we can just get started, and as people join, we can talk. But anyway, we just wanted to get on and talk about our Sunday, talk about church. Today was a good day at church. We'll just get talking, and then if people, someone's hello. Yeah. Okay, greetings. How are you doing? Anyway, we fast Sunday. It was good. This was like the first fast Sunday in a while that I fasted because I've been pregnant or nursing. So that was good to fast.
You should tell them about that thing who posted it on social media talking about testimonies.
Yeah. Oh, she said right on. Always grow and you can fast. Yes, that's so true. Thank you for commenting. Yeah, I follow Hank Smith, and he just did a great post about fast Sundays. And sometimes I feel like fast Sundays are, I lovingly refer to them as open mic Sunday.
You just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and most of the time it's good.
Yeah.
Our ward tends to have a lot of kids come up, which is good.
It's good. I think it's cool. I think some wards, some bishops kind of look down on that, but I think it's cool that they're taking up the challenge from their teacher or their parents.
Or that they just don't have the fear, I think sometimes adults are like, people don't want to hear from us. But anyway, there was this post from Hank Smith, and he talked about, he gave a few tips on how to share your testimony, and just keep it short and sweet. And people do want to hear from you, and always testify of Jesus Christ. And you don't need a story, or you don't need an experience to share.
I mean, not saying those can't prove a point at all. It's great, but kind of the thing of his post was like, even if you don't have something like that, still testify of Christ, and it doesn't have to be some elaborate thing.
Yeah. So anyway, it was good, but I felt invited. I kind of felt enabled to share my testimony. Oh, yeah. He's reading the comments.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My ward is semi-small right now, several kids, but things tend to be quiet. So never miss the opportunity to testify of Christ. Exactly.
And that's true. I mean, I always kind of get a little anxious, a little nervous, when there's nobody at the podium for, it feels like eternity. But, I know it's not that long, but still it's good.
It is good. And it's good to sit there and quietly reflect, even if you don't stand up and share. But, yeah, I agree. Never miss an opportunity to testify. And I felt, I guess, like I was saying earlier, I felt enabled to stand up today and to share my testimony. And I don't stand up very often in church. I don't feel like to share my testimony. But it was nice. It was nice to just testify. And Ty and I both were Sunday school teachers for the youth. And I want them to know that I have a testimony, or that we have testimony of Jesus Christ.
And you're not afraid to share it besides a classroom setting either.
Yeah. And so that was good. And I shared a little experience with my son, which I could share here, too, that I would like to share. Okay, just a second. The Spirit often makes us feel a sense of urgency, or gives us a push. Yes, absolutely. When there is something you have that someone else needs. I love that.
So good.
That is so good. Wellington. Where is Wellington? That's so cool. I noticed your I noticed like your handle. So that's cool. So where is Wellington? But so Ty's gonna look it
I'm
up.
gonna look it up. But there might be a few Wellingtons.
So an experience that I shared today was
Utah, maybe.
Oh.
Or New Zealand.
Oh, either New Zealand or Utah. Oh, Spanish Fork. There we go. Awesome. On the way to Moab.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Fun.
It's got to get getting hot.
Oh, and Helaman's Army. Hello. I took a bunch of Advil today. I was supposed to have an interview today with Helaman's Army, and I was like, Ty can attest. I came home and I was like, I had so much pressure in my forehead today. So anyway, I'm sorry for canceling. We'll reschedule. But he says, I love the silence. I've lived in the mission field for over 10 years, and the silent times is when the Spirit can work. It's awesome. We don't always have every moment filled with testimony. And you know what? That is so true. And it does that. And it's that urgency too that Dust Wave Music was talking about. It gives you that sense of urgency. Anyway, I really enjoyed today like the fast and testimony meeting was really good. It felt like, but I felt impressed to share an experience that we had in the Layton Temple. And I don't know if I've shared this on here. So if I have, sorry, you get to hear it again, but, maybe I should have Ty tell it this time.
Yeah, I can tell it.
Yeah, because
so there's the Layton Temple open house going on right now. Our ward had the opportunity, as most people in the Temple District do, to go do service, volunteer, and go through it. Obviously, so we went through it, and we were with our kids. I don't know. So we have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a baby, a 1-year-old. And as we're going through, our 5-year-old, he says, we
were in the instruction room or the endowment room, mm-hmm. and they were being a little rambunctious. So we stepped back to kind of let everyone else go through.
So they could hopefully feel the Spirit a little better than
other people, not our kids. But yeah, so we held back, and as we're sitting there, we said, okay, this next room that we're going to go into is a representation. It's called the Celestial Room, but it represents the celestial kingdom. And we talk about heaven frequently because, everyone has family members that are passed on or whatever. And
we've kind of had a couple recent deaths in our ward and family, that.
Yeah, there's a guy in our ward who is my sister's father-in-law or my brother-in-law's dad, and
we just call him Grandpa.
Yeah,
that's how our kids know him.
But his wife died about a month or two ago, and anyway, that it was kind of a recent death for our kids to experience, and so we're sitting in this room and we're talking about, okay, this is going to represent heaven, and think of all the loved ones that we have in heaven, and Jesus and Heavenly Father. And when we go into this room, we want to think of them and think of how it will be to enter into heaven. And anyway, now you can continue on.
That was perfect backstory because I kind of forgot that. I was like, I'm going to run into a train wreck. So anyways, we go into the celestial, or right before we go into the celestial room, our 5-year-old Luke, he says, do you think
this lady, we won't use her name.
Yeah. Do you think that she's going to be in there?
She's the one that just barely passed away.
Yeah, barely passed away. So again, it's fresh on his mind. And Kait says, yeah, she very well could be. We don't know.
But I believe she will be.
Yeah. And as we go in, it was kind of a sweet, tender moment because Grandpa was in there.
Her husband.
Her husband. And he's like, man, I just wish that she would talk to me, and then we kind of shared this cool kind of thought he had, and he kind of got a little emotional of just, I mean, it was bittersweet because he's like, why can't she just talk to me? But it's so good to know that she's talking to others or talking through others to me. And it was just a little tender mercy.
It was just kind of a crazy experience to realize that he, our little son wondered if she was going to be in there. And then we walk in and there's her husband who's still alive. And it was just like, wow, she really probably is here with him, like standing next to him, because he was an usher helping people go through, and it was just really tender. And then so I shared that today in church, and then I just said, and that is what Jesus Christ does for us. Like the temple is truly his house, the house of the Lord. And because of his atonement, of the atonement of Jesus Christ, we can be together with our families forever. So yes,
that comment's perfect.
Yeah.
Because
perfect comment.
I mean, it did kind of feel like that. And it was cool too, because, at the temple, they gave kind of everybody opportunities to hang out in not hang out, sit down, relax.
And yeah.
But the celestial
reflect.
room was packed. I mean, it was full versus, the instruction room or the ceiling rooms or, and so again, I think that was really cool that people could feel that kind of spirit. They could feel, it's just a good place.
Yeah, honey, when you were saying that the celestial room was packed. So I don't know if you guys follow David Butler on Instagram. Dave
just posted.
Yeah, Dave Butler. He does the Don't Miss This podcast. And I love his podcast for the youth, and we teach the youth, and I feel like it just really hits home. He was really like one of the first that I've noticed teach about this, the come follow me. Anyway, but he posted was it last night, about heaven being crowded. And so when you said that the celestial room was crowded, it just reminded me of his post, because he talks about how he loves walking down Main Street in Disneyland and how it just reminds him of heaven. And he was telling that to someone, and they responded, "Oh, why? Because it's crowded." And he said, "I love that. And I'm never going to be mad again when I go to Disneyland and it's crowded and I'm waiting in lines," because he says, "I just want to remember that is what heaven's going to be like. Heaven is going to be crowded with all these people." And I love that. I love that story. Anyway, okay, I'm getting behind on, yes, the veil. So we talked about the veil.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love that. Children have insights that we sometimes don't have. The chance to take your children through the temple on a tour must have been awesome. Great parents. You know what it was, and we haven't done it before.
I mean, not with our kids,
because we're scared, because they are kind of rambunctious.
They're little kids. Yeah. There's 2 boys and a sweet little girl who can't really, she's pretty quiet for the most part. But I mean, our boys are little boys, rambunctious. But it was really cool walking through, because you could just see them kind of looking around at the artwork. And our oldest, he's kind of been asking to, like, "Oh, let's drive by the temple. Let's go see it."
They've been invested in the building of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool for them to, like, see the construction, and they've seen.
Yeah. We have another temple around the Syracuse, Utah temple, which is still under construction, but it's getting close.
That's right by my dad's house. It's fun to see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so they're starting to take down, like, all the scaffolding, so you can really get a good view of, the outside. And so, I mean, in their minds, they're like, "Oh, it's almost done," but it's like, hey, they've still got as much work or more on the inside. But it's cool. But
so Helaman's Army, with that, I should call you. I don't even know if I know your first name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. I do care about that. But with the children have insights. Clifford, hello. So with that, children have insights. It reminded me too of, so Ollie and Luke both, Ollie especially lately, has been saying, remember when he was like, Jesus is coming?
Oh yeah.
And he would like make gifts, like he could make gifts for Jesus.
Arts and crafts.
Yeah,
and
he'd be like, this is for Jesus because he's coming. And
we're like,
what do you know? Tell us everything. But I don't know. I just think it's cool. And along with that, like, remember when we had the youth raise their hand in our class on like, so we teach the 15 and 16-year-olds. I said that before, but remember when we said, raise your hand if you think you'll be here for the second coming.
Oh yeah.
And they all raised their hand, like no doubt. And I just thought it was cool that they,
again, I mean, the youth, there's obviously, and I know they've been saying that for generations, like, oh, you guys are the chosen generations. Because I felt like they even told me that. Not like I'm so old, but just like, they told me that. And now, I don't know, it's cool. But it's cool that these youth have such a strong feeling of, oh, it's soon or something's going to start happening.
All right, let's get to the comments. I love everyone's comments. This is so fun. Okay, so I think that this is one of the reasons the church opens up to the general public, because even before they are dedicated, the Spirit is undeniable. That is so true. And it's cool because there have been, like, my brother Jake.
Oh, yeah.
So he went, my sister took him through the open house of the temple. And he's just kind of resigned himself to the fact that he'll never go through the temple. And so for him to go in and see the temple, and, I don't know if it'll do anything for him, but the fact that he was able to experience that was cool. I thought.
Again, just the special spirit there. It's a great place. It's a great place to go and be.
We have Barbara from the mountains of North Carolina.
Welcome. Somebody from Florida too.
Oh, this is fun that it's not just people from Utah. Like, I'm making it across the United States.
That's cool.
Yes. Let's see. Love your channel. I have had some of the best testimony meetings with small children. Yeah, I love their testimonies. And in fact, there is a kid in our ward.
He's the cutest kid. He's how old? 8 or 9?
Yeah, probably.
He's got glasses, and he's just sweet comb over hair.
Everyone in the church, everyone in our ward's like, he's going to be a prophet, or
because he gets up and he uses words that are way bigger than what he should know. I mean, again, our kids are talking about boogers and farts and stuff, and he's like,
we went to Yellowstone and
it was a great geological, and you're just like,
exploration. No, just kidding. I don't know what he said, but, and then he related it to how nothing is, what did he say? Like, nothing is by chance, and that God created that. And it was just cool.
It's just cool. He's very mature for his age, making those cool connections. And I don't know, but it's so cool to hear their testimonies, and even the shy ones, that just mumble something, or Jesus Christ.
I love Jesus. Like, someone stood up and was like, I love Jesus. I know he's true. And then like sat down, and it was so sweet. And like, you just know that is what they truly believe. And I loved it.
And the courage to do that. That's really cool at that age.
But. Okay. So she's from Florida. Cool. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all you do. Today was amazing. Yes. I'm so glad. I felt like today was a good day in church.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because our kids weren't screaming at us, but.
And it was a good lesson too. I mean, Alma the Younger, this week's.
Yeah.
Come follow me. Okay. We're way behind.
Janet. Hello, Janet. Hello. What are we talking about? I just joined the chat session. We're just kind of talking. We're just.
Sunday chats.
Whatever people want to talk about. That's over here. She's from Idaho. Sweet. We have family in Idaho. Well, you do.
Rexburg, Rigby, Manan. I don't know where, but.
Yeah. Idaho Falls. Don't you have people
Falls.
In Idaho Falls?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right there.
But.
You have some family in Boise. I have some family in, what's next to Boise? Something's close to Boise that I have family in. Anyway. Okay. My handle is odd. I am a proud LDS woman, and I am prepared. I follow Helaman's army as well. Awesome. Speaking of children and the temple, keep them invested. Keep them looking forward to it. You'll never regret it. That is such a good point. My mom, which you guys all know, I love and look up to my mom so much. She's no longer here, which you guys also know. But my mom used to always say, we are temple goers, not event goers. And what she meant by that was sometimes people they hurry and get their temple recommend so they can go to an event like a wedding or a sealing or whatever. And then they forget about their temple recommend until the next event that they are invited to. And she always used to say, we are temple goers, not event goers. And she used to always say too, as well with that, she would say, tie your bows pretty. So I always have to spend extra time tying my bows pretty because
it's something I never paid attention to till the first time we went to the temple when we were dating, and she like looks at me and she's like, this guy can't even tie a bow.
You know what?
Does he even do Jesus?
Stop it. He is like, he's like 99% of people in the temple, which is great. You know, I'm just so happy that people are going, but I will always hear my mom's voice in the temple. Tie your bows pretty. You don't want them flopping around everywhere. You just want a nice, big, pretty bow. So next time you go to the temple, tie your bows pretty. Okay, we started talking to our children with us when we go do a session. They're old enough for baptisms. We make baptism appointments as well.
I think that's cool. A family that does the temple together, you know,
just stays together,
strong
really.
And
they wait patiently for us in the endowment. Oh, cool. That is cool.
That's way cool.
We need to do that when our kids are older. We moved from
Pleasant Grove,
Utah to Marshfield, Missouri.
Nice. Missouri.
That's awesome. My brother served his mission in Independence.
Yeah.
I don't know where Marshville is, but that sounds awesome. Marshfield. Sorry, I said Marshville. Marshfield. It's a fantastic family thing to do. Texas. Oh, okay. I didn't know that you were in Texas. That's so fun. Do I think World War III is coming?
Who knows?
You know what? I was actually telling a bunch of friends the other day because the second coming came up with me. And I said, I mean, I do not doubt that there's going to be a war, like a large scale war. But I said to them, which a lot of them hadn't ever even considered the possibility, but I said, I think that this last war is going to be spiritual. And I think it's well on its way. Oh, did you not? I think this war, I think the big war is, I mean, I don't doubt that there's going to be real wars because look around us.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 10 going on right
now. Well,
now.
and like we're basically in a civil war right now.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean the United States are so...
Yeah, it just seems like the polarizing effect of, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, I think it's going to be a spiritual war, and I think we need to be prepared because Satan, I think, is going to attack. All right. No such thing as coincidence. Okay. She's going to move to Missouri Independence area soon. That's exciting.
Nice.
Serena. Am I saying that right? Serena.
Serena.
Oh, Serena. Okay.
Like Serena Williams.
The reason why I said Serena is because on my mission, there was a La Sirena, which is the mermaid. It was a store.
Oh.
La Sirena. And it was the mermaid.
What would they sell?
It was such a cool store. It was basically like a giant Walmart. You know the Walmarts that have everything?
Oh,
Super Walmart? What are those called?
Yeah.
But it was like multi-leveled. And then they sold spaghettis there. It was really cool. It was called La Sirena.
So kind of like an IKEA where they have a little restaurant. You can get some Swedish meatballs, but it had grocery store in it.
Yeah. And like you could buy clothes there.
Wow. One-stop shop.
La Sirena. La Mermaid. I don't know. Okay. Okay, but her name is Serena.
like
Serena.
Williams.
Okay. And when I first followed your channel, I wanted to ask for prayers. My father is a bishop. They are younger than our prof. Wait. What? I wanted to ask for prayers. My father is a bishop. They are younger than our prophet. Thanks for angel. Yeah. Thank you, angels.
They're definitely around us.
Absolutely. I will tie my bows pretty. Whether there is a physical war or a spiritual war, we will be protected by the holy priesthood if we remain worthy. Absolutely. Today, were you so embarrassed today in my Sunday school class, in our Sunday school class? But when I talked about the priesthood, I hounded them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You could kind of see some of their faces of just like, wait, what?
I said, well, because we were talking about the covenant hand. I'm talking about a lot of random things here. Here we go. We're talking about the covenant hand because it said they'll be found on the right hand of God, right? And I said, what's with, maybe it didn't say the right, it said something with the right hand.
Yeah.
And I said, what is this right hand? They're like, I don't know, choose the right. And I was like, okay, yeah. But like, what about it? And I said, why do you guys pass the sacrament with the right hand? And they're like, we don't know.
Just to be reverent. That was one of the answers. And it's
just
like,
it's just to be reverent. And anyway, I said, well, it's because covenant. Like you hold your hand, you hold it with the left hand because we are renewing our covenants when we partake of the sacrament. And they're, they were kind of like that. But I said, okay, and what do you guys have when you pass the sacrament? What are you guys blessed with? Oh, the priesthood. Yeah, priesthood. I said, okay, what's the priesthood? And one person hit it right on the nose and said, the power of God. And I said, absolutely. And I said, what's the priesthood? And they were like, power of God, power of God. And we like pointed through all, because I wanted them all to realize that it's that simple. And then I pointed to the girls and I said, so do you guys have the priesthood? To the boys. And they're like, yeah, we do. That's why we pass the sacrament. And I said, do you guys? And the boys were like, no, you don't. And I was like, let me correct. When women go to the temple and make and keep covenants, they receive the power of God, which is the priesthood. And I said, it's not the same. You're not ordained. They're not ordained. Anyway, we talked about it. And so I like hounded them. I was like, do girls have the priesthood? If they go through the temple and make and keep their covenants. But I was like, they need to know this. Anyway, it was my little tangent for the day.
Yeah, we frequently kind of have those in our lessons, like these, we're teaching pretty good. And then all of a sudden a kid asks like a super deep question and we just dive.
But you know what? Deep. If they're invested, I think it's great. And if they want to, like a few weeks ago, it was the plan of salvation. They're like, wait a second. Like, what were they so mind blown about?
I can't even remember.
They're like, wait a second. So you mean to tell me? And we're like, yes. Like it was just, they're like this. They left that class and they were like, whoa, my mind is completely blown. This was the coolest lesson. And we're like, great.
Yeah. I mean, some people like it. Other kids were totally checked out,
It seemed like all the boys though, because we were talking about, plan of salvation and that they could create their own worlds. Okay, so you mean to tell me that we can create our own worlds when we and it's like, yeah, if you guys make and keep all the covenants, if you receive exaltation, yes, absolutely. And they were just like, oh, that's so cool. All right. Let's see. The spiritual war in the pre-existent heavens has never really ended. The war rages on here. Dust wave music is correct. Stand strong in the gospel and you'll have God on your side. Absolutely. Like it is just a continuation from the premortal existence. It is the war for souls. My brother lives in Costa and there is a Sirena mermaid in front of his villa. Yes.
Now I really want to go to one.
We went to the Dominican Republic. I should have taken you into La Sirena.
We just went to one of the colmados.
A colmado. I took him to a colmado and I got him a sandwich with a bunch of salami on it.
And it was good.
It was really good. No rolling of the R's needed. Oh, Sirena in her name. Let's see. Yep, priests and priestesses. The right hands matter. Covenants matter. I'll be still. You are both amazing. I'll keep you in person. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Priests and priestesses. Yep. The first time my daughter put together the concepts of exaltation and the purposes of eternal marriage, she was also blown away. It is one of the coolest moments. I agree. When something clicks in their brains about the truths of the gospel and eternity, it is cool. It's cool that
I think too, I always heard that one thing. Oh gosh, I don't know where it was, but someone said it's just your spirit remembering truths kind of deal. And so, yes, in the pre-earth life, right, we learned all these things. And so when that spirit testifies, it kind of, I don't know, I guess to me, it unlocks that memory of, yeah, I remember this. And it does sound, and it is true.
Yeah, and it's familiar. I agree. So not too long ago, I did a video about Sister Nelson's, it was her, I think it was the Hope of Israel devotional, where she talks about becoming who you were born to be. And if you could gaze into heaven for 10 minutes, you would know more. And it's true, when you realize who we were before this life, or when those moments of, what you were talking about, those like memories, it really does. It unlocks that, like, I've learned this before and I remember this. It's like President Eyring's talk about when he walked into the Salt Lake Temple and he said, I've been here before. And then he said, the Spirit spoke to me and said, no, you've never, it was the first time he walked into the Salt Lake Temple. And he says, no, you haven't been here before, but you've been in a place like it. And just that remembering of, what life was like before we came to earth. Spirit memories. I like that. In the premortal life, we progressed as much as we possibly could. A lot of that knowledge is hidden by the veil. Yeah. Like, it makes you wonder if in the resurrection, because like, the veil will be lifted.
Yeah. That'll be an interesting day. Like, I don't know, good or bad.
Yeah.
It depends, right? Like, I had all these amazing lives before all these amazing dreams for my life. Did I fulfill my purpose?
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing the things that you wanted to do or covenanted to do before, and then hoping, I guess, like, did I fulfill it?
Yeah. Did I fulfill the purpose?
Yeah. It's like, it's going to be like Saturday's Warrior sort of a thing.
I haven't seen that for so long. And we even watched the remake.
What is wrong with Saturday's Warrior? I like it. I didn't like the remake, but I like the old version of it where, like, she promises her older brother that, like, Jimmy, remember that song? No? Come on. Someone has to remember this song. I'm not going to sing it because I'm a terrible singer, but it's like.
Well, you can't just almost start and then.
I know, I almost did. The Jimmy song. Anyway, someone needs to look it up. Orson F. Whitney talked about this thing at one point. I'll see if I can find the reference. I've got it written down somewhere.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay, Punta Arenas. I think that's what it's. My Spanish is really rusty. Provence? I don't know how to read. Esterios Oeste, Costa Rica. Costa Rica. That's awesome. That's where my old neighbor just got called to serve. That's where.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to say names because I didn't want privacy. Anyway, he just barely got called to serve in Costa Rica. Be so fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Pura vida. All right. I guess Helaman's Army is looking up a quote. Yeah. Anyway, good chats.
Yeah.
Do you guys like these Sunday night chats?
I'm trying to think what else.
Kind of fun.
What else was good today, or what kind of spiritual thoughts I had, or
Our little 3-year-old Ollie, he gave the cutest talk today
in primary.
in primary. Ty helped him, but he was just so cute. And Luke, our little 5-year-old, was in, he's sitting in his chair. And anyway, he, I don't know, Ollie's just standing up and he's holding a picture of Jesus and he says, "This is Jesus. He's my friend." What else did he say? Something about like, I can turn back to Jesus when I'm mean or something like that. But anyway, he like said a few things that was funny. Well, I guess it wasn't really funny.
It wasn't funny.
But just the way he said it. And Luke, our oldest son, he was in the audience and he was just giggling, which was making everyone else giggle. But it was like not a make fun of giggle. It was like you're doing so good, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like he's saying things so cute.
And even Ollie started to giggle, like I'm so cool.
But he strode up to that microphone. Is that a word? Strode up? I don't know.
Yeah.
He strut. I don't know. He strut. But he did. He just like walked up there like, hey, thumbs up, to everyone, and stood up there and pulled that microphone down.
Just like all kids do. For some reason, they think they have to like
strutted or strolled. Yeah, strutted.
Swallow the mic.
Yeah. I love Jesus.
But it was cute.
It was cute.
Again, just those simple testimonies. And we used to be in primary for, I don't know.
Ever.
Yeah, a few years.
It was like 3 years.
And like, it is such a great place. I love, subbing for a class or whatever in primary, just because again, the spirit is so young or not the spirit's young, but you just feel it strong and you feel their enthusiasm.
Well, because they're young and they just have the spirit with them. Like, it's amazing how kids can have the spirit with them so strong. Yeah. Like without having the Holy Ghost, I guess, you know what I mean? But it's just that light of Christ that's so strong with them. But yeah, they're just cute.
Yeah, just cute kids. I mean, all kids are cute.
Well, and I think too, the beautiful thing about the church and primary is just that you're teaching the most simple, fundamental things like Jesus, know? And it's just like when you are with children and it's like, this is Jesus. He's my friend. It just hits different, versus us trying to express how much we love Jesus. I don't know, like everything falls short, but something about a little kid saying, this is Jesus and he's my friend. And when I can repent and turn back to him. And it just is good,
Taking that gospel, the big doctrines down to their simple parts. And it's good.
Yeah. Their attention span is low, but they have those moments that blow your mind.
100%.
Absolutely.
Kids are crazy.
Absolutely.
Kind of like we were talking about the next generation, the next chosen generation. You guys are the next chosen generation. But it's really cool when you have those opportunities to be with the youth or be with the primary kids. And you're like, man, you guys.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are the chosen generation.
I feel like they know more about the gospel. They're having these deeper questions. They're
interested.
They're feeling the spirit more. And, it's really cool. I'd recommend being in primary or Sunday school or whatever sometime. Young men, young women.
Okay, so he said Article 38 discusses spiritual memories from Orson F. Whitney. That is cool. You think they heard nothing you were saying, and 5 minutes later they repeat it word for word. Absolutely. Good or bad.
Funny thing funny quick anecdote about our oldest. He just wasn't listening at all. Like I'd be like, hey man, can you go? Yeah. Have you told this already?
No, I haven't.
It's
I was like, where are you going with this?
It's a stupid story. Nothing spiritual about it. But for the longest time, I'm like going up to Luke, our oldest, and I'm like, hey bud, let's brush our teeth and let's do something. I'd ask him to do something or, hey, come over here. and he'd just toddle around and do whatever he wanted to.
He's getting mad at me, and he's like, not mad,
Yeah,
but kind of
just
like
kind of like,
irritated.
this kid cannot hear. Like,
You need to
something is
take
wrong
him
with his
into the
ears.
doctor. He cannot hear.
Yeah, like, let's get his hearing tested.
And I was like, no, he's fine. He can hear. Well, one night I'm putting him to bed, and I'm like, I'm quite literally right by him. And I'm like, Luke, hey, Luke, like a little louder.
I'm like,
Luke,
yeah,
and
you see my point.
He's sitting right there, and he's like, I told you, you make that appointment. He's deaf. He's going deaf. And I'm like, Luke, can you hear me? And he's like, yes. And I'm like,
I've heard you the last 5 times. You're like, oh.
Why did you not answer us? He's like, because I didn't want to. I was like,
Oh, dang. There goes my whole case out the window. Anyways, just a funny thing about those kids.
But absolutely, you think they're not listening, and they are, and they're paying attention, whether or not.
Yeah, even teenagers too, like our Sunday school class. I think they're.
Yeah, even teenagers. That's funny. Yes. Okay. All over the world, at the end of the day, Heavenly Father's children kneel down to pray, each saying thank you in his own special way. Yep. Yeah. Thank you, in his own special way. I got what you were saying. You didn't need to put quotations. I got it. You'd be surprised what you can make spiritual about events. Yeah. See how many times does the Lord tell us stuff and we seem deaf?
100%.
You know what? Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole joy of parenthood is, I mean, whenever you take a step back and be like, oh my gosh, my kids are just, blah, 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 complaining.
And then you look in the mirror.
Turn around and you're like, oh man, how many times have I know I shouldn't do that. And yet I still do it. Again, life's a journey.
Yeah. Well, and I love that this life prepares us. You look at Heavenly Father, and this is something that my mom used to always say too, but she would say, I love you so much. And if I love you this much, imagine how much the Lord loves you. And, or she would say something like that of like, the Lord loves you even more than I love you. And, being a parent now, you realize that is so true, that even though we love our kids so much, the Lord loves them even more.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like our kids are young right now, but when they grow up and start making choices for their own, like for themselves, and start pulling away and whatever, it just reminds you that the Lord will always pull them back. The Lord is going to bring his children home. Anyway. But yeah, perfect love is this is like in the way, so I can't really see. Perfect love is volumes larger than what we can even comprehend right now. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. With that, and I might just end this, but so in Utah, there's this cute little 3-year-old boy that I don't know him. I don't even know where in Utah this is. Was it Fillmore or somewhere? Anyway, somewhere in Utah, not by us, but this cute little boy was driving I think it was like just a little toy tractor, right? And fell into the stream, and he's been on life support for about 2 weeks. And I could be getting details wrong because I don't really know this. I've just been following it briefly. But anyway, tonight the mom posted and said that they're taking him off of life support, and she said, I'm going to hold him for one last time while he falls asleep. And I know that I'll have him again and he'll be perfect. But I know that these young kids, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, putting our kids to bed tonight, I just realized how fragile life is. And just that, it can slip away so fast, and just to enjoy the moments, whether it's with our parents or our kids or our spouses or our friends, just whatever it is, to to really live and enjoy life, and really to teach all that we can now, and to make every experience matter. Yeah, I hugged my kids a little tighter tonight, and they were not having my hugs, were they? They were like, "Mom, you're squishing me." And they thought it was so silly that I was hugging them, but secretly I was just a little heartbroken for that mom that was saying goodbye to her kid tonight. And anyway, I'm grateful for the plan of salvation. And yeah, trying not.
It's rough. I mean,
we're reading the comments. That's why, trying not to fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, anytime a child goes through something that kind of seems unfair, but really just the love that we have for our kids amplified by infinity, is how much he loves them and loves us.
Yeah.
And wants us to return. I mean, that was kind of the lesson today, right? Alma the Younger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, it's all about repentance. And as many times as you repent, you'll be good.
Yeah. The fact that, and I have a video coming out tomorrow, which I talk about this, so I don't want to
spoiler alert. Sorry.
I mean, it doesn't talk about this the whole time, but just that forgiveness of, it's where Peter says, how many times do I need to forgive them? 7 times? And in my video, I talked about 7 would have been a good number for him to say of, yeah, forgive him 7 times, because 7 times means complete, or, if you forgive them, that would have been okay. And this is a repeat of tomorrow's video, not all of it, so you can still watch. But anyway, I just mentioned this for a little bit. But he says, no, 70 times 7. And if we think that 7 is complete, then what is 70 times 7? And that's how many times we need to forgive people, but Christ will forgive us forever. So, let's see. Jesus knew Lazarus would be alive again. Yes, in moments, but he cried anyway. Absolutely. Awesomeness. My eldest brother was wayward, and he is finally at peace. Thank you both. Babies and light matter. Mm. Forgiveness is amazing. 7 is great. Is a great number.
I think she meant and.
Where?
No, nothing.
Oh, is okay.
7 is a great number.
Yeah, 7 is a great number.
Sorry, I was just looking at the ampersand. My bad.
I watch all of your videos, even if you give a spoiler. Thank you. You know what? I appreciate it. I always see your comments coming through. Can't wait for your video tomorrow. Keep them coming. I love the chat too. Thank you so much. You guys, thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean,
I always have some trepidation posting. Yeah. You will know that, because I'm always like, what if I said something against people?
But I mean, this is pretty cool too. I mean, just asking questions, and
I like chatting with people
it's fun.
In real life.
It's fun to get to know you better all across the nation and the world. So
it is cool. I'm always spiritually starving, and you guys have been amazing in boosting. Boosting my light. Thank you so much. This is fun. This is a fun way to spend our Sunday evenings, and we've loved it. So anyway, thank you for watching. In second meeting, 7s were brought up a lot. Florida loves you. Yeah.
Lessons. Yeah. We even talked about that.
We talked about 7s today because there were the 7 churches today.
The 7 blessed.
The 7 blessed.
The Lord told Alma.
Yeah, when Alma was worried. Yeah, there were a lot of 7s today. And there was chiasms, which we didn't really get into in our lesson today, which kids don't care about chiasms anyway, but
poetry.
Who cares about poetry? Well, we do. You will too one day when you're old. You two are totally doing what I want to do with my wife. I'm just afraid. Any advice on getting started? Just get started.
It's going to be awkward. It's just like learning anything.
Yeah.
And we're still definitely, I mean, you're the one doing this. You just pull me in.
I pull them in so that I don't sit here like I still do. But I just say get started and don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Like my first video got about 1 view. So, just get started and have a great night. And I will start looking forward to this if you're going to be doing it each weekend. I think so.
I think so.
Either Saturdays or Sundays, probably Sundays.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably 8 and 12 too. Yes, the numbers. I love poetry. Just do it. Exactly. Helaman's Army. Exactly. Just do it. Just if you're going to do, if you feel called to do it, do it.
Yeah. I mean, people need to hear testimonies, not just from everybody. Again, it's like one giant testimony meeting. The cool thing is, this is on a platform that, people can watch all sorts of stuff, and why not put a little extra good on there?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it will get hard. Yeah. My first one was rough. They're still kind of rough sometimes, but it's okay. Don't beat yourself up too much and just remember why you're doing it. Yep. Nike, just do it. We are getting a little community here. Christian Homestead, etc. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a good community. Yeah. Helaman's Army. We got Christian Homestead. Just Wave Music. There is a lady in my ward who she has a YouTube channel, and I can't remember what her channel is called.
But kind of what she does is she just composes kind of this beautiful music, or does
such amazing
of songs.
Music.
And again, I know every ward kind of has a lady or somebody like this, but it's awesome. So
yeah. Anyway, I think I might do a video with her one day coming up. I'm trying to see what it is because I just feel like people here would love her. It'd be easier for me to find it on here. Her name is Marilee K Music.
Just show it up, maybe.
Well, let's see. Anyway, she has really awesome music and she has such a good story. I'll put it in the chat. I hope this is okay, Marilee. If you ever watch this, she does follow me. So, anyway, if anyone wants to follow her, it would be great. But I want to have her on sometime soon because she has had such amazing experiences, and I feel like she would be a light to people. She's gone through a lot of hard things. So, anyway, yeah, she just followed. Perfect. Yeah, she has such great music. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. This was so fun. Yep. Happy Lady, she is in my steak. The Happy Lady is in my steak. And maybe I can talk Happy Lady into doing a video with me too. I don't know. If you guys follow Happy Lady, tell her you want her to do an interview with me. Her name's Lindsay. She's so nice. She really is such a nice, happy lady. So one day I'll get brave and ask her. Yep. Good night. Put your kiddos to bed. So anyway, yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone. Hello, Daniel Hershey. Sorry, we are cutting it short, but good night. Anyway, good night. Thanks for joining.